we used to be on our back foot because my generation did the same thing. We said, well, if you don't understand, I can't explain it to you. You'll find out. But now we're finding out, and we're saying, well, let me save you from some of this before you go into it, simply because there is a reason that you that you appear a certain way, because it does help elevate your own sense of your own appearance. People judge you on appearance, and while that's not always the paramount thing, it is an important thing, and let's not pretend that it is, because it can easily go downhill. It can easily go downhill. Yeah. So
let me say this on that, Ferris. I was thinking about, and I know you always ask me what's on my mind when I show
indeed.
up.
That's right.
Well, how Stephen's here, I want to get his opinion on this too. What is it? The betting? Calci, and what's the other one?
Poly market.
Yeah. To me, that's what's causing these kids. Well, everything's different, like we had a way we grew up, our parents had a way they grew up, his parents, and then him and all that. But nowadays, you can sit home, like you're talking about rolling out of your bed, you can sit home and roll out of your bed and make $1 billion betting on things, man. What is that? What kind of turn is that? Well, there was one guy who said he did.
Well, I mean, I will have to see which guy this is, because the thing about the poly market Kalshi, first of all, it's the most terrible way of gambling to
oh
involve.
Man,
you could bet on anything,
anything,
right? Anything, world events, anything, current events, and then of course insider trading becomes a matter of who you know,
right?
Because then you just, for example, you just had Trump's speech prompt operator. He was able to like bet on Kalshi on the words that Trump was saying in that meeting, in that press conference. And then he cashed out over like $300,000 or something like that.
And then the guy cashed out over Venezuela when they would
invade.
They fired him.
They're not investigating that one yet, but like fully, because there's a lot of people who made a lot of money on the foreign policy decisions that Trump has been making, because it's like they bet on certain things to happen that people didn't expect, like the Venezuela abduction of Maduro, and the war in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz, and then the Kalshi poly market prediction stuff is just
it's poly market.
Poly market and Kalshi.
I want to say Postmate, but that just bring you food. but my whole point is that these kids actually see this stuff, and they really think that they don't really have to work. They can just bet on things. And the NFL, the NBA, everything. I mean, it's sickening to see the number of betting commercials. And then in small print, if you have a gambling problem, what if I have a gambling problem? It's your fault.
I got a reading problem.
The crazy part is that these companies, these sports betting companies especially, they cut you off if you start winning too much.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
they cut you off if you start winning too much. They no longer give you access. Your premium access is denied. All that. So it's like
so it's rigged.
But now
rigged.
Kalshi,
it's rigged.
Kalshi did the same thing, because you like you said, you can bet on anything. You bet on who's number one on Apple. Well, then they got somebody who's actually got all these fake plays, so they'll have something set up so that this certain song will play X number of times over and over and over again, so that'll rise up. That'll rise up. That'll make that song or that artist rise up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's flat out cheating.
That's just manipulating the market.
And the thing that gets me is you don't win $1 million. I said $1 billion, but $1 million unless somebody loses $1 million.
Right.
And that's the whole thing. You got to put money in. And I'll admit, I had to go all the way and see what in the heck Kalshi was about. And I just did this last night. I put the app on my phone, and they've been bugging me ever since.
Right.
And they want, here's the deal, they want $4.99 a month. That's reasonable. But for a whole year, it's $149. Now, somebody do the math and tell me that's right. That makes sense.
I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. It must be like a premium thing.
I don't know what the deal is. They say all the bells and whistles that come with it, but you're just betting. You know, I guess they give you back stats, or because you can bet on a game today. You can bet on who's going to hit the first home run for the day.
Yeah, and that's the thing about like the sports betting is one set of companies. Then you have the prediction market, what they call
prediction market,
the Kalshi and Poly market. What you are able to bet, and that is like endless. You can bet on how hot it's going to be today. Like
you just talked about that.
But like if you have a weather app, you can try to do your best guess. But like of course, those bets won't like take you too far. But it's the ones with the inside information. Yeah. Especially the controversies with the NBA players, former NBA players have been caught where basically they stopped themselves from scoring or doing any more like stat padding because they have told their homeboy, hey, I'm going to only do this many assists, and I'm gonna make sure that I get this many points.
It's
and that's what
betting
they bet
paradise.
So
wow.
It's made it corruption inside of trading and gambling.
But that's a whole new segment of thinking for people. And we're talking about young people growing up. Now they're thinking, I don't have to do a lot. I just have to make the right bets.
Right.
Or be in the right situation. I don't have to get up and put on a suit and tie.
Dangerous combination: human greed and short-sightedness.
Oh,
and
man.
then the worst example is the U.S. Congress and politicians that they're showing that that's what they have been doing since they've been in office. It's just insider trading, making.
And they stay in office to pad their stats.
And that's the example that everybody else gets. That's the example everybody's seeing. Like, oh, that's how you make money. And
that's how you make money.
So the youth sees that and there's like, oh, so we're all about who we know and what we bet on. And
right.
So why work?
And then if you stay in there, you get to hold on to those campaign funds, and you get to add to them, and they have to vest a certain amount when you're in there. So all of these things point to
the funniest thing was once the insider trading in Congress really started like becoming an issue in public eye, maybe about 4 years ago. There's a group of people that created an app that tracks the insider, not the insider trading, but the stock trading, the stock portfolios of certain members of Congress. Yes. And Nancy Pelosi's profile was the one that was the most profitable, and everybody was just following whenever her, her portfolio did an investment or stock exchange, it will ping you, and then you just have to imitate that because you want to make sure that you're following where she's going. She knows where the money's going to be going because, of course, when you're in Congress, you're privy to sensitive information before everybody else knows it. So. It depends on what announcements are made the next morning. You have a stock go up on something or go down on something. So that's when people knew there was a problem.
And for so long, the poorly educated, of which I am a part in this instance, and perhaps a few others, but people were told, "Oh, they put it in a blind trust."
Oh, well, and we don't believe that.
Yeah, right. and but listen, there was a period in the 70s, the 60s, forget about it, but in the 70s when they were supposed to have been having these reforms, and they had through the 70s and the 80s, and we thought they were actual reforms being made, right? Those blind trusts didn't mean a thing. They didn't then, they don't now. I mean, and we have a president who says, listen,
they don't mean anything now at all.
I read something the other day where Donald Jr. has what has he got, $1 billion? His investments went to 200%.
He's also
he made so much.
But he's
money.
Also invested in Kalshi and Poly.
Yeah, right. He's
also invested in those. So he's investing on you investing.
They've made so much money. The Trump family have really raided all the coffers and made every
the Trump crime family.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, when it comes to like the American dream. When you call it reality, the American dream and fantasy has always been like, you make it here, you raise your family, you work hard, you put your kids through college, you have a home, But the real American dream, like the real representation of what the American dream is this corruption, because this country has always been fascinated and obsessed with the mob stories, the mob ties,
right?
The organized crime, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you got to give it to like when people always talk about, like, when I tell people I'm Colombian, people are like, oh, Pablo Escobar, because that's like the most known outlaw of all time. But when it comes to organized crime, the U.S., I would say, people would talk about Al Capone and Lucky Luciano and all these things, but Trump really took it. Like, Trump is the ultimate proof of how far organized crime could take somebody. And he has now got that title, because before this, you talk about how the Kennedys and the Bushes, the families, they used to make a lot of money off of bootlegging when Prohibition was, the law of the land. So once the alcohol sales were legal again, all their money was legitimate, and then they were able to raise children into politics, and you get the Kennedys and Bushes, but now Trump is like kind of skipped all that. He went through reality TV and real estate, and then with his mob ties, he was able to become who he is today. So that's the American dream, at least white American dream.
Yeah, and then those people making that money at that time, they were so far out of a media channel. We didn't keep tabs on them every day because they were not the everyday politicians. We knew politicians during that day, during particularly white America, was like corruption was like Tammany Hall or Boss Tweed or somebody out of New York, somebody who, and then somebody who had clout as a politician, but they weren't. The media wasn't what it was either, right?
The media,
big but then it also began to escalate when we had the Rockefellers come in. The Rockefellers came in, Standard Oil. But again, these were executives, Westinghouse and other places. They were buying up media outlets, but it was like you could at least you could at least point to those corporations and you were identifying somebody. Well, now we don't even know who's
I think the difference is back then they didn't have all the angles covered. Nowadays, a corporation there's no air outside of that. They have everything covered, and if they don't have it covered, they get rid of it. They definitely make sure it's not going to affect them at all.
I mean, they've been chipping at all the labor laws and all the corporate laws and everything ever since they implemented it slowly but surely, and now they got everything, like you said, covered, so that way they don't have no disruptions to their income flow.
Regulation.
Income flow. That's the word right there. The income flow of it. Yeah. And the regulation, all they can do is sit back and he's deregulated. Trump has deregulated everything.
The deregulation too.
That's why we got diarrhea lettuce and eggs right now with salmonella and all these things.
Oh man,
deregulated
because he fired all those people, got rid of all the people that were supposed to watch out for that.
3 of the top people whose job it is to control and to regulate the behavior of the people, of the career health officials, are no longer. Those positions aren't filled. Those positions aren't filled. I just was looking at a hearing maybe earlier last week, I think it was, and there are these 3 top positions that are open, and meanwhile, cyclosporia, or some call it cyclopsoriasis, right?
Well, there's some other names too, but we won't.
They can't get the template up for running it because they don't have enough people on hand, and certainly don't have enough qualified people.
And you know what's the funny thing? I don't have the exact details of like the names and all that. I forgot the company that was the one that has the lettuce with the outbreak. Right.
Taylor Farm.
So the initial report did say, all right, it came from Taylor Farm.
Right.
But then somebody in the Trump administration took a look at it and said, "Oh wait, these folks at Taylor Farm donated to the Trump campaign,
right?
So we're going to release a press, statement saying that it's not really them."
They did. They did say that. They did say that.
And that's just like another proof of like the pay to play type of situation. As long as you pay Trump, if you mess up or something come up down the pipeline, they're gonna help you clean it up because you gave them your tribute to them, so
you're part of it.
Yeah, you're part of it.
But
it's amazing.
So bringing us back though for momentarily, And I thank Stevens for playing with us this morning, and of course Sherman, thank you for bringing it up. But here's the deal. Tying this to education, right? Tying this to education, Stevens. Mm-hmm. I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who incidentally for me is my guy. He's my guy. He's just he's just my guy. But he tells this anecdote about when a group of social scientists had to go to, a group of mathematicians, professors, teachers, and data collectors and all that, had to go to a conference, and it was in Santa Monica. And they had trouble there with the hotels, so they had to move it to Las Vegas, right? And these guys are all statisticians, right? And they were there for a week. And Las Vegas said never again. they made less money than they've ever made in the opening of the joint, right? And he moves from that to say, because people don't for all of this money that we allocate for education, we don't teach our children about statistics. That is not taught to a large extent.
This is basic probability.
And his argument is that if you are collecting money from a population of people, and you've got all of these other mechanisms supposedly to protect and defend them, why not arm them with something that they can use without government oversight? Just knowledge, the knowledge. These people knew statistics, and there was no way were they going into vote. And his argument was that we should have more courses like that. Yeah. In our
he's always
schools.
Been pro-education.
Yeah, he's always been pro-education. I like that
pro-education,
about it.
And I like that about it.
Yeah,
and I think that
absolutely.
Everybody looks at him as the sky guy, as the science guy.
Oh, he's so much more.
He's so much more than that.
When you hear him talk, I mean, and the thing I like about him and other scientists that I've read about or listened to, they begin from the premise suppose I'm wrong. Now, I like the way he frames the debate between scientists. Two of us go in a room. One of us is going to be wrong. Or if it comes to a stalemate, then one of us has more information than the other, or we both don't have enough information, in which case it's a stalemate. We have a drink together afterwards and go on with our research. I love that, man. It's and he, from what I see of his readings, his teachings, and I've been following him for a while now. He just, and I'm sure there's some things that I've overlooked, but however, I just like his approach to knowledge, and the willingness to speak truth as he sees it, and say, look, I don't have all of the answers, right? But this is a gap in our knowledge. And one day, I don't have the answer now, but one day knowledge will fill it if we pursue the gap, instead of vilifying the other person for not having the knowledge, So, yeah, great. I just wanted to say that. Yeah. All right, guys.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for what you do. Cal Sheet Bet. I got first caller. I'm gonna go with Texas Mike. First person on YouTube. I'm going with Angela Leonard. Okay, what you guys got?
Okay.
Come on.
Well,
I got 2 cents up. I got my 2 cents up.
Yeah. Look, but unfortunately for you, I just heard a video about stats, so I'm not going to go with that.
You're not going to take the loss.
I'm not going to take that.
That 2 cents is much too much. That's tax we can do on somebody.
Right. 14 minutes after the hour of 9 o'clock, and we just broke right into our conversation this morning, and we are thankful, ladies and gentlemen, that you are here with us this morning. Sherman, there are a lot of other things to discuss this morning as well. Yeah. Maybe you should begin with, I was going to say Shape Community Center, and let us know what their
Well, you know, this is the week for the road trip to Alabama. They're taking the kids and following the civil rights people back down from Alabama. And you know, I know Terry Parker is on the bus.
Okay.
And he said that he's going to be, if nothing else, he's going to post on Facebook every minute. So Terry's pretty good at that. Yeah. So we had yesterday we had a big they had a big going away party, so to speak, okay. And the bus pulled out yesterday. I think mid-morning, maybe earlier, and they started down the road. So they're going to be stopping at some historical African-American sites and sending back different things. And I'm going to see if we can get him on the air. If he texts, I'm going to try to get him to call in. Yeah. Maybe, like you said the last time, you guys had him on the road with all the kids. So that's pretty good.
Man. Yeah. And so we're going to let him get that. It should be a fair piece on down the road.
The Live Oak building should be about 2 months from opening, which I think is.
That is absolutely good.
I'm looking forward to that. You know, just to be able to walk back in the building after all this time. It's been almost 2 years now. Yeah, and that's quite a while for me.
And they've done that. They've done their work consistently, quietly.
Just never stop.
Restoring it,
Never stop.
Yeah. That is great. It's a good morning to you again, ladies and gentlemen. We want to remind you that it's going to be hot out there today. Stay inside unless you absolutely have to go out. And if you go out or if you're working outdoors, pace yourselves so that you don't go out with that full burst of energy and wind up dehydrated and unable to move. Unable to move.
I was coming in, I was seeing people walk in, and I said, I remember the days when I'd run 1 or 2 miles a day in the morning, 3 or 4 times a week.
Yes.
And I make 2 or 3 runs in the morning now, but my doctor said that don't count.
Well, it don't count.
I think it's a different kind of run, Perry.
Certainly a different. Oh yeah. Well. In that case, then I get to add my 2 o'clock in the morning. I get to add my 2 a.m., my 3 a.m. run in there. In that case, that's what we're talking about.
All right.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Let me say good morning to you, Sandra Smith Lee. Good morning to you, Sarah Moses. And good morning to you, Joan Edwards, Shirley Brass, and to all of you wonderful people, Miss Annie Wright. You mentioned Angela Leonard.
Miss Leonard. And
Angela
let's
Leonard.
See, we're on YouTube. Yes. Looks like Dwight Douglas.
Oh, okay, Dwight.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, Dwight getting it right. Good morning. He's starting the day off right, Dwight.
I lost 2 cents on that one, Paris. This calcium thing is not working well for me. So I lost 2 cents on that.
Glad to see you showing up on YouTube, 1230 YouTube. Be sure to join us there. 1230, you can subscribe. It's free. 1230, The Source.
Like and subscribe,
YouTube.
Please. Like and subscribe. And if you can, share it also. Share it so we can continue growing.
Bop that button. And bop that button.
Smash that button.
Yeah,
Bop
it.
Smash
that button.
Bing it.
Yeah.
Whatever you
have to do. Bop, bing it. Just bring it. Hit that button. And we are here with an all-star talented lineup. You've got Ralph Cooper. You've got the original DS. You got Don Sam. You got Sherman with me this morning, and then on Thursday, so we've got Keith Downey, who comes in to contribute with Community Chat, and on the weekends you've got leading into the weekends, you've got Lydia Flanagan, Diversity of Thought, on Fridays, and in the nighttime you've got Andrea B. But on Wednesday nights, you've got Steven Orozco and Political Talk with Friends.
With friends.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So those friends have the benefits of political talk. They love talking and
there are different benefits, etc.
Yeah, different benefits, to be certain.
Let's not forget Michael L. Harris.
Oh, no, absolutely not. Michael Lawrence Harris. Michael came by the other day.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him.
Yeah.
I tried to get in. I wanted to because Yvonne was sitting back.
I heard a voice. I did think it was you. I did. Yeah. But
ain't no worries.
So Michael was here, and that was good. And then also on Saturdays is Kerry Lewis and Akua Fayette. Yeah, and Ron Jackson with Political Talk. So quite a team, quite an array of talent we've got out there. Yeah. All right.
We ready to go?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Let's see if I can get my 2 cents back, Paris.
All right.
Good morning, caller. You're on.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir. I won.
You redeemed,
I'm a millionaire now.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right down your alley. That conversation's right down your alley, man.
No. Well, Junior, you're the Bible expert. What was that parable? It was a rich man and the old woman who gave 2 cents, but that was all she had, baby. So give everything.
The old woman was giving at the temple, and
right.
she had 2 mitres. The rich man was who was that? Was that Lazarus?
You got it. Take it.
Wasn't Lazarus. Yeah, but the rich man looking down and wanted a drink of water to cool his parched tongue, or looking up rather, and wanting a parched. He was in torment. Yeah. He had the riches. He had the riches of this world. Yeah, he had the riches of this world, but in that afterlife, according to that story, he wishes that he would have been more kind and more generous with his things. And the widow gave the 2 cents. She gave all she had. It was little in terms of earthly quantity, but it was all she had spiritually. So that story is about giving your all, and that's valuable.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'm, as always, I'm reading someplace before I get to what I call it, Sherman. Look, if you really believe in something, ladies and gentlemen, if you really care, give it your all. You Democrats out there, Terralico needs more than anything money. Take no vacations. Don't buy coffee. Give it all to Terralico if you really are into politics and you really care about winning and losing and saying if Pat's to win, it's all over. Like one of your friends, Herman, used to say. No, truly, honestly, why would you say you believe in anything, whether it's this example or any other Paris, and Paris could run circles around me in this example. If you believe in everything, give it your all. Just like Paris at this station, he gives so much time to this station. I hope it's worth it in the next life.
It is. Believe me.
It's worth it just to hear Texas Mike talk.
Or emotionally, it works for him. That's the point. And he decided to basically give his golden years to this station. I'm paraphrasing, or getting it to extreme. I hope you don't give it all. You're all, to some people, is your family, ladies, and we can extend your biological family to the community, to the KCOs, right? Yeah, right. Like 100 years from now, it'll matter, right? The external thing, the vast universe, and we care about what. Look, Sherman.
Yes, sir.
I was in the Sam Andrews Black Fantasy League, and they should let me in because I'm black. Go far enough, and everybody's black, okay? And we've covered that. That Scurry would not have won. Don't call him champ, call him Chuck. I would have won, and let me in, Ralph. I mean, no, I know they're not going to let anybody. But to make that point, I guess Scurry and somebody told Don Sam, this is the year my beloved Cowboys go to the promised land. And by the way, Sherman, that was a good, funny line. How long did you work on that, the run thing? You and I laughed at it. You missed your call.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, the run thing.
No. Speaking of planning ahead, ladies and gentlemen, like Sherman always thought, not just financially, but a lot of senior citizens I see, they wind up not so much financially secure, and their body is broken down. So now sometimes different reasons for that to happen, but the odds increase that your golden years would be better financially and physically if you plan ahead when you're younger, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I didn't get to where I'm at physically and financially by not looking ahead when I was younger. And when you're younger, you don't think ahead. You think at the moment in time. But look, this and Paris, stop talking about the heat. This weekend, this weekend,
hard, right?
Somebody look this up.
A sharp pivot.
Bad water, 135 ultramarathon. It's 135 miles it starts in Death Valley, California, where even at nighttime, it's over 100 degrees. Okay, and last year, Bob Becker's 80-year-old completed it. Okay, over 100 degrees. A man's 80 years because he took care of himself when all through his life. Okay, it doesn't just, and it's never too late. You can start wherever you're at. We're all at different places.
Come on, Mike.
Finally,
Mike, when you talk about wait, let's not run from that too quick. Okay. When you talk about running in Death Valley versus running in Houston, Texas, you know what they're gonna say? It's a dry heat. So you go on from there.
But still look.
It's 100. It's 100.
I'm the guy. I'll challenge you on that one. Dry heat. You go to Memorial Park Loop. You'll find people running at the hottest part of the day. You're close to that physically, right?
I've done that before.
You know what I'm talking about. But to come back to my things. But last but not least, look.
Yes, sir.
In politics, don't tell me. And most of the people are biased in politics. You can be objective. And I heard this from somebody, that you can put one person against the other person and write down some so-called pros and cons, and you're not going to be biased, and you can say, oh, yeah, this person is better qualified. In your mind, qualification, it's based on one metric, but more than that, it'll be like, in baseball, you have two strikes, community. You struck out with Kamala Harris. You struck out with the other guy, lady who beat Taralico, fair and square, okay? And now you got one more strike. And what's the plan? What's the plan when brown people take over in the power of politics? You're not planning ahead. All you're planning right now. Eventually, say it happens, okay? You heard me on Saturday. Say it happens just for argument's sake. What's the plan? Are you just going to let it happen? And say, oh, one day you wake up 80 degrees, 80 years old. How did it happen? Well, I didn't plan for it. I didn't say I never knew it was coming. Oh, yes, you did. Have a good day, Sherman.
Okay, we'll have to go with that, Mike. Thank you. We appreciate that. I'm happy to still be here. I ain't 80 quite yet, but I'm working on it.
And in the interest of following your advice, let me say to you, if those of you out there who are 80 years old and you run in Death Valley, ignore my advice. You go right ahead. You feel free.
You go right ahead.
You damn sure know better than I do.
So I'm not arguing with
hello, Miss Eddie Wright. How are you, darling? Not that you're nowhere near 80 years old, but we are thinking about you and all of our other wonderful listeners out there this morning, like Deborah Bates.
Okay.
Deborah Bates and Pretty Black and Miss Marie, too. All of you out there this morning.
Caller, you're on.
Hey, good morning, Sherman.
Good morning, sir.
So do I have an equipment problem, or why is it that sometimes, Sherman, like you might come in
I'm too loud,
and Paris and whoever is in the background, we can't hardly hear them.
Can you hear Paris now?
Oh, yeah, I hear him loud and clear.
Now? Okay.
Right now, but
they worked on him over the weekend. They worked on him over the weekend.
Now the thing is, though, is there somebody other than myself listening to how the station volume is being managed? It's just me.
No, we got a comment on Facebook. I mean, on the YouTube about the volume. Ron Scurry.
Okay. Well, congratulations and good luck.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank you. Thank
I'll
you, Bobby
continue.
Ray.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, but thank you, man. We appreciate you, Colin. We appreciate you guys looking out for us. Thank you. We're doing the best we can. But like Paris said, there was last week there was a problem with the mic, and they've come in and done what they wanted. I can hear me real loud.
And remember this too, ladies and gentlemen. You would have no way of knowing unless we shared this with you. But in a broadcast setup, in the world of broadcasting, there are other jobs other than the people you see on screen or the people you hear behind the microphone. It takes a lot. It takes a crew. It takes others.
Right.
With people with technical expertise, people who've gone to school to be engineers, people who have studied this. They have. They are employed also, and so there's only our familiarity with this. Let me speak for me. My familiarity with this is very limited. I did not go to school for engineering and for all of the things we do here. So my familiarity with the equipment is covered by my everyday use of it. Those things that come up during the course of a day that we know how to correct. But there are other things involving the chips and the processors and other things that require a particular kind of knowledge, and that's when we reach out to our professionals in that field, and then we let them take care of that.
Technical staff. That's what
it.
you get paid for.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're moving on. Caller, you're on.
Man, did I hear somebody dropping my name this morning?
No,
what's happening,
no,
Big
One? They called me out talking to me. I wasn't going to win. I'm ready for football. Man, Texas Mike, but he took the wrong detour on the wrong gummit this morning, didn't
he detoured 2 or 3 ways that time, but you go with it. Yeah,
he was looking for. He didn't know what he was doing. He was poking the thing that he thought was warm and furry, but he didn't know he was poking scurry.
Oh,
so
man.
So now he got this. So now.
Listen, he like Texas like, yeah, if I was in the black sand doing that, I would be scary. I'm like, whoa, dude, come on, man. I just have a cup. I'm over here at work, man. Come on, Mike. No.
I ain't bothering nobody.
Yeah, I'm just listening to the bad takes he's coming up with, man, that's getting on my nerves. So, but okay, Texas Mike, I'll tell you this here. I got $500 that the Texans gonna whoop the Cowboys. Sherman, you want some of that?
Nope. I learned back in the 70s not to bet on somebody else, not to bet on stuff I can't control. That's why I'm not into this Kalshi and post whatever this other, the poly market and all that other stuff. I have no control over it.
But you play the stock market though.
I don't play.
You can call it playing, or you can call it.
I do what we call indexing. You know that's the difference. You know that's the difference. That ain't
but
playing.
But there's still a chance that you might win or lose, right?
Yeah, but I always put a floor to it. I know what I'm gonna lose. I know exactly how much I'm gonna lose if I'm gonna lose. That's something I've always did. Now, gambling means you put your money out there and you have no idea what's gonna happen, and you have no control over it. So the referees do something you don't like, and you go crazy. Or the coach called the wrong play, and you go crazy because you have no control. All you can do is sit back and watch your money walk out the door, Mr. Scurry. No, I don't bet.
Yeah, on that Mike Paris. Ralph was telling me Friday when I was up there that Mike, it's you can hear it on YouTube. But when you're on the internet, well, you can see that, but I guess the app, like the KCOH.com app, and also the Simple app, we can't hear Paris on his mic.
Well,
we can hear it on YouTube. Yeah. So just letting you know. So and Ralph was saying that mic was the one that was a problem. So,
I think they fixed all the mics. I think what happened this morning, Scurry, Paris was turning his mic on and off. And you might have at one point he might have said something and then hadn't pushed his button to get his mic back on, and because I think he's coming in loud and clear now.
We were hearing him. Yeah, we were hearing him, but I'm I'm on the phone now, and I was listening on YouTube, so I was hearing them on YouTube.
And YouTube, you can hear everything that goes on in the studio. You know, if we played a commercial and started talking, you could hear our conversation.
Yeah,
YouTube is live, so you know it's live in the studio. So we'll go with that.
I want to do a quick take on this measles outbreak that we're having right now. I mean, the latest here, July, you're seeing that the CDC say they got a record of 2,318 cases right now in the United States, and that's a 20-year high. And when more than 95 of the people are vaccinated in the community, people are protected. But you look at now, people are kind of skeptical of vaccine these days. But the states right now that are hardest hit with the measles is South Carolina, Utah, Texas. Folks, we are in it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening and you got younger kids, of course, older folks get the measles also. But we're up 84% right now, and that's alarming to see all these cases of measles, and you can die from the measles. I mean, it's a rare thing, but it can happen, especially with anyone with underlying.
People were dying in the 50s before they had the vaccines and all that. People were dying from the measles. You know, it wasn't all. It was rare. It wasn't every day. But you know, people were having outbreaks were just ravaging people. You know, especially school kids. You know, can you imagine not getting your kid vaccinated, and then they go to school or they go somewhere with other kids to play on the playground, and they come home with measles and actually die? You know. Yeah. Can you imagine the feeling you had?
That was heartbreaking. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so, and then it's preventative. That's the thing about it.
It's preventive. That's the big deal. That's the big word. Yeah. It's something you had control over, and you decided, no, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it my own way because that person over there says that I shouldn't do that.
Well, last year it shows that we had like 803 cases last year, and that was more than any other state in the nation here. So right now we got reported by the CDC, they say we got 188. So we're looking at maybe less than last year, but I'm saying across the country it's still going up. And you look at some of these states that are on the list, like South Carolina, Utah, Florida, Arizona. Those are states that are vaccines, people that are vaccine deniers. So.
Well, when you got somebody who's in charge of all this, who ride down the road picking up roadkill and thinking it's okay, and he granny clapping or somebody, you know, picking up, and he's telling you how to handle your kids, and you listening to him, well.
Okay, well.
I'm not trying to be funny. We all know that's true. He's admitted this. Come on.
Wow.
He in the car with his kids picking up roadkill.
Yeah, well, that's the gist of the story, folks. I mean, you do what you want to do, but in the day we did have vaccination for school-age kids, and you look at some of these vaccines that we had out there that will help preventing some of these childhood diseases, polio and measles. What else we had? Chicken pox and things such as that. So. I mean, it's something to say about history there. But that was my little take today. Just wanted to get on that.
Appreciate that.
When I heard my name called, of course, I'm here at the airport. I'm like a genie. You say my name, I'm going to appear. So.
Paging Ronald Scurry. Paging Scurry. Report to desk 223, please.
What? And tear me away from my armadillo dinner?
Oh, no. That's not me, Paris. I'm not the roadkill guy.
I know that. I don't know.
But let's think about this, and I'm gonna let you go. I know you got things to do, but think about this. How did they kill the Aztecs and the Incas? They brought disease that they weren't used to.
That's what they did. That's what they did in World War II. They were working on germ warfare.
Yeah.
Germ warfare is a real thing.
I didn't hear what you say. You say, how did they kill though?
Yeah. How did they kill them? You know, they didn't intend to, but they brought disease with them.
In their blankets. Some of them they got rid of them. Yeah, they gave sometimes they gave them blankets.
Yeah, they came to those islands and were infiltrated by the explorers. Of course, they brought a whole bunch of diseases with them.
So that to me, that's the same thing that we're doing now. We're saying, oh, it's okay. You don't have to be vaccinated. All right, sir. they
All right,
calling.
They're calling you. Flights
One other
can't take
thing,
off.
guys, make sure you got your passports and your birth certificates because
Right.
some things may be going down. Be prepared.
All right, absolutely, yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
guys.
Mr. Scurry. We appreciate the call. That's Mr. Ron Scurry.
Yeah.
Caller, you're on.
Very good morning.
Hey, good morning, sir.
Hey, Don. Good morning to you,
What
sir.
happened? All right. What happened mostly to a lot of Incas and Aztecs? They were. You have the bronze community. I heard the guy talking about the browning of America. It's the bronzing of America. And I want to mention a gentleman, historical figure in that bronzing of the Americas. Gaspar Yanga. You ever heard of Gaspar Yanga?
No, I haven't.
West African leader who created the first free town in the Americas, and he was in Mexico. There's a town called Yanga, Mexico, close to Veracruz, Mexico. Look up Gaspar Yanga, and you look at how the Veracruz people in Veracruz are mostly West African, Spanish, and Mestizo, indigenous people. Okay, and I don't have to mention the population of Brazil. So I don't know these people talking about brown.
yeah.
It's more.
Well.
Bronze.
Well. No, hold on a minute, Don. That both things are true. You going back to the original definition of that word. The Browning of America is a recent book, and I got it somewhere on my shelf over there because it was written by a youngster. And I'm just looking for his name right now. This guy used to be in the music business when I was there. He is a young Hispanic, and he's talking about the backlash to hip hop and how hip hop helped influence the attitudes of Americans, and many of those attitudes were unfavorable. And one of the things that were scary for them was that this. Remember, he is Hispanic. I'm looking for his name even as I speak with you right now. I just could not remember the author's name, but he's a young boy. I mean, he's not young now, but when he wrote this book, it's been several years ago, and he was a manager. He had hip hop artists, and he's been on television several times. So it was written for a new generation, Don. That's what I want to say. So
What I'm saying is, Americas, not the United States of America.
Yeah.
America.
yeah,
You talk about the Americas. You're talking about North America, South America, and Central America.
Right.
I'm not just talking about the United States of America.
well, that's what his book was
people
about.
call it-
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Hispanic is not. I mentioned that before. Hispanic involves ethnicity. Okay, you can be, for instance, you speak Spanish, but Spanish is a derivative of what? Latin. So there's Latin America. It's called Latin America as well because of derivatives. Just as people are a derivative of Aztecs and other cultures, they're blended. So, but there's Germanic languages, which not the same as Romance languages. Not Romance and I love you, baby. Romance is in the Roman Empire, Italian, Spanish. That's what they talk about. So these guys giving you, I don't know. But my point for calling quickly is, when we talk about the issue of black prosperity, people say, well, the South, there's no prosperity in the South for black people. You know, there's no. But if you look at historically, let's take 4 incidents. Well, 6 really. We all involve riots. We talk about the 1866 riot in Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, during Reconstruction, the 1866 riot or massacre, not riot, or massacre in New Orleans during Reconstruction. And then you talk about the 1906 Atlanta massacre, and of course the most famous one probably is the 1921 Tulsa race massacre. What was those people doing? They not only murdered people, black people and men and raped women, they burned businesses and property. So black people must have been doing pretty good if you're burning homes and businesses. So, and these are in so-called southern part of the United States. So people say, well, what are we getting for voting? Voting is like they say, voting is just the same thing as you have a job. Voting is what you do. Work is who you are. Voting is what you do. But the work is governance and holding these office holders accountable. It's two different things, but working together. So that's what I called to say this morning. And then don't talk about the red summer of 1919, where these white mobs and extrajudicial, whatever they call it, and these public figures who turn their heads like this president want to do. We're not going to involve the FBI, no more ICE investigation. You're turning your back on the protection of the people. Yet on the other hand, you say they're lazy and shiftless and all this, but yet you don't give them the same protections and inalienable rights as all citizens earn and have, and they're not for sale. So brown, black, bronze, white, we all is God's children in His sight.
Okay, Don.
Yeah, Don.
All right, thank you so much.
That sounds good, brother. Thank you for calling me, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's I always say it's preaching to the choir. We understand this. We get turned around by other people coming into our world and saying, no, that's okay. You don't need to do that. Don't vote for him. He can't win without black people. Let's make him say that he just wants black people to vote for him. We can't do that. We can't. We can't sit back and decide that we are a nation within a nation. That's just not going to happen for us. It's not something that's going to work. That's my opinion. Caller, you're on.
Most honorable big brother, what's going on, my man?
Good morning, brother. How you doing?
What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
Harris, what's happening, my man?
It's all good, my brother.
Hey.
All good.
All right. I kind of, what I want to kind of do, I want to kind of bounce from my conversation I had on the radio Friday about voting and, call me petty or whatever, but, I kind of have a problem with people take what I say out of context and twist it and don't really listen to what I'm saying.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, X. You're breaking up. Well, we're hearing most of it, but you're breaking up.
Okay, what about now? Is it good now?
Yeah, it's a little better, but no worries.
What about now?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the road coming back from Dallas to Houston, so that's why it's breaking up. But
they're gonna rename that road for you. You know that, don't you?
What now?
They're going to rename that road for you. It ain't going to be I-45. It's going to be IX.
I-45 route.
Wait when the football season comes, which is around the corner when the Cowboys come. I'll be here a lot.
All right.
Hey, but what I'm saying, last time, there were two callers that got a little upset at me about what I was saying about the importance of black people voting. And, one person said I was talked down to black folks, and another person said I'm blaming the victim. It's not that. It's frustration and a wake-up call what I'm trying to do for black people because, I have receipts on why black voting is important for me, and it's in my blood because the late Helen Perry, which is my grandmother, was registering people to vote back in the 1950s in Clinton Park and Fifth Ward area and risked their lives to get black folks to vote. And over there, Pasadena, while the Klan hung out there, was right next door. So they risked their lives to vote. And then, too, black people died. You remember the Edmund Pettus Bridge when people got the living crap beat out of them because they wanted to vote and all other things. Black people died to vote.
That's one of the stops of the SHAPE Community Center Freedom Tour. So they're going to march across the bridge when they get to it.
Exactly. So from that to now, when black people are not exercising the only power we got right now is the power to vote. And it's truth and evident, guys, that that's a big time power. And it's 2 times when white folks was really scared. 1964, when Lyndon Baines Johnson passed the Voting Rights Act, that was the first time white folks was really scared. And then in 2008, when Barack Obama won, the first black president, scared the hell out of racist white people. So what did they do? That's when the voter suppression stuff happened. So what I'm saying is that if our black vote wasn't so important, guys, they wouldn't be doing all these measures to suppress the vote now. And what I was trying to tell everybody, and the people who got offended at me about is that, you can look at all around what's going on, that we need to vote to change stuff. Because, Big Brother, you saw what happened in Austin? Was it this weekend when the black boy got shot how many times by the cop and he had a water bottle?
I missed that one.
You heard about that?
I missed that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Young black boy gets shot by the cops and he had a water bottle, but they decided to shoot him anyway. And we still got this police brutality that's going on. Don't you think that black folks should at least try to vote for the people who can at least pass the George Floyd bill so this stuff can kind of slow down a little bit? Also, we need to vote because if you paying attention, people, black people have really been affected education as far as the college students because of this DEI crap that Trump is doing. People, black kids funding at HBCUs is getting cut out. I got a friend personally that daughter had a scholarship, a minority scholarship at Tuskegee, and she was getting $25,000 a semester for a scholarship. 2 weeks ago, she get a letter saying that scholarship is discontinued because of the government's anti-DEI stuff that's going on. So that's why, and just all around, we're playing ball. So we got to wake up and realize that we need to vote in big numbers to at least try to slow some of this racism and white narcissism down.
Let me ask you something on this, if you don't mind, just kind of expand a little bit. Why do you feel we need the George Floyd bill? What do you think is going to slow down? What do you? I guess I'm asking, what do you think is going to slow down?
Well, I mean, it won't slow down in this administration because it's a federal law that that when the cops brutalize black people when they're driving, they be held accountable. They may face federal prosecution and probably imprisonment.
But at this point, like ICE, they're not even being investigated by the FBI. So will the George Floyd bill cover that?
Well, probably not what ICE should, but here's the thing, Big Brother. Under this administration, anything that's going to help minorities as far as any type of criminal activity that this administration does, it's not going to help. But what it will do, it will help the next administration. We have some decent people in there that will follow the law and the Constitution to make these laws stick as created by Congress now. With this president and this dirty administration, now ain't nothing going to happen. But this is for the future down the line. Because once a bill passes the law, it doesn't stop. It goes from administration to administration. So, and then also too, if we get enough and this dirtiness that's going on in the White House, but at least kind of hold him accountable a little more when we got a Democrat Congress and a Democrat Senate to kind of hold him accountable and kind of, close to put his behind in check a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we know what you mean. You must have just come out of that tunnel. We got most of what you said, but you kind of cracked up a little bit, X.
Yeah. I pass through these little towns and stuff like that. So.
Oh, they covering you up, man. You pass some of them towns up there. You
man.
You can't listen to black radio through some of those towns.
I just saw. I ain't lying to you. I just saw a big old sign that had Trump as the best president ever, and next to Jesus. I'm not lying.
You don't have to.
Now.
You're in Texas, man. Come on now. You in Texas. I've seen.
Did you say next to Jesus? I missed Jesus's term in office. I missed that.
Hey,
I missed it.
Yeah. Hey, that's not Jesus. That's not Jesus. That's Kurt Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Oh man.
Oh man.
X. Man, you be safe out there on that road, man. Don't stop till you get past Huntsville. All right, man.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, X. Appreciate your call. All right. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, guys. 713-668-1230. You can give us a call. You can catch us on YouTube. You want to post a question on YouTube, and we'll talk about it. That's fine also. You got Paris Eley Morning Magazine, and we are here to basically, in the words of Michael Harris, talk to you about anything within reason. That ICE thing, ICE is not backing off of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a situation where I have to explain myself when I say, is the George Floyd bill going to help? I've seen too many bills come through. The civil rights bill should have covered all this. The amendments should have covered all this. We got to make a bill for everything just for us. There are no bills for everybody, for other people. They're just bills for African Americans that, we're being mistreated, and we're being this and we're being that. We have to, in my opinion, get past bills, and unless we get a firm economic unified base, we're gonna just forever be trying to pass bills just for basic human rights. So that's my opinion. One black man's opinion. If yours is different, yours is different.
All right.
We good?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we are good, to say the least. We are better than good. We're talking about things that matter to the community. We were talking about health. I just want to tie in another aspect of it, and it is simply this: 600,000 black women have lost their jobs. What about their health insurance? Turning the page here just a little, and they have restricted access to health and medical care, and shoved out of the workforce through what reports now have say a series of catastrophic layoffs. See, these layoffs don't just, when we talk about getting people out because of DEI, it has far-reaching consequences.
It does.
We don't think about that. There's the obvious economic loss of income that's coming in there, and in some of these cases, these people who are most often affected by the DEI thing in their careers are people who've already been hired and proven themselves, and so these aren't. I make this point repeatedly. It's not about new hires. This is not about new hires. It's about people like General C.Q. Brown, who was a 4-star general.
Oh, yeah.
Who was demoted, was taken off the job in favor of 3-star General Dan Kane, even though Dan Kane required a waiver to get the job that he's currently got. All right,
but that's not DEI.
But CQ, right? But they don't call that DEI, right? They had to get him a waiver to take over the job, So now General Kane is prosecuting the Iran war, and certainly don't lay everything at his feet or his staff, but possibly could have had a far better outcome than we having right now. But why not put the senior person, plus the person with the most combat experience in there? You removed that person. It's not that C.Q. Brown was asking to be chosen. He had already been chosen by a staff of professionals, other military men. Here comes the former host of a weekend news show, and he's making decisions at the Pentagon. So please spare me with this BS about who gets hurt by DEI and the people, the other people. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of things. I've said this again with DEI, but when I talk about it, I'm talking about more than employment. I'm talking about qualified people who are denied the chance to get to where they go. You know,
right.
Yeah.
Two things on that. First of all, if you're laid off, the common misconception is, well, you can get COBRA, for insurance. You can get COBRA within the first 60 days or 30 days or whatever. So your insurance at your job when you left was probably, $30 for the whole family.
Right.
COBRA is up to $800 a month.
Wow.
For you.
Yeah.
Not your family, just for you. So
yeah.
you can afford that when you're laid off. I'm sure you can.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna let the other one ride and we're gonna move on to the caller. Caller, you're on.
Thanks for taking my call. Black excellence at its finest.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. What I find is kind of amusing. I mean, we can have all these bills, we can have all these laws, all these amendments and whatnot, but if you haven't got the right person to enforce it, it means nothing.
You're right.
That's why it's so important to have the right people in the right positions, so you don't have to worry about D&I affirmative action, because they're going to do what's right, especially be so-called being a Christian nation. You do the Christian thing, love your neighbors as you would love yourself. See, it's not complicated, but as long as there's greed and entitlement, we're always going to have these type of issues.
That's the big two, greed and entitlement. That's the big two.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you can you can control what you control in your own family, then that makes a big difference.
Yes.
Especially when you teach somebody when they come up younger, hey, look here, it ain't about the money you make, it's what you do with the money to help others. Don't be selfish, because you can't take it to the grave with you.
Mm-hmm.
Our whole existence is not about just how much we can amass while we're here. You're supposed to be able to love one another, be able to get along, and live life and preach. Not even preach what you preach it, but live by it.
Well, like
a lot of people they want to pick and choose what they want to do.
Right.
Like
they say, he who dies with the most toys is still dead.
Right.
It doesn't matter about you having Lamborghinis and big homes.
Exactly.
Your space is the same size as my space.
That's right. So people need to get their priorities together. You work your whole lifetime amassing stuff, and you get too old, you can't even enjoy it. And your family, they take it over and run right through it like you ain't making
it's not anything, like it's nothing. I tell people all the time, you have to get, I'm trying to become a minimalist. And by that I mean I'm taking all these things I'm saving, and if they're worth anything, I'm trying to pass them on to the things that are going to hold them. If they're not, I get rid of it, because your family doesn't care about the stuff you think is important. If it's not cash money, you can have a will and a trust and say, I want this to go there and this to go there. And if you don't have somebody outside the family who's going to handle that, man, that stuff will wind up in an estate sale, and whoever can get it, and I get 20 cents off of what you thought was $3,000.
Yeah, but the George Floyd bill could have an impact. Again, it depends on the agency, how they decide to respond to it. If they chose to ignore it, they want to pick and choose certain parts of it. Yeah, but like I said, if you got somebody,
so why are we trying to pass it then?
Right. You said, why are we trying to pass it?
Yeah, why are we trying to pass it? That's what I want to get to.
Have something on the books. We need to have it on the books so we can enforce it. So you get the right person, they can enforce it.
But you're telling me that you can pass it, but then it won't be enforceable.
It won't be enforceable until the person that it applies to.
So why are we passing it?
But we need it on the books to have something to go by. That's why we pass it. That have to go by, just like anything else.
All right, we get stuck in a circle. I'm gonna let it go.
All right. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, we appreciate you calling. We appreciate you calling. Thanks. And I'm just saying stuff like this to get people to think. I'm not anti George Floyd bill. I'm not anti DEI. I'm not anti anybody except Let me stop.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. The putting it out there is not always pushback to deny it. It's just to put it on the table.
Let's put it
on the
table.
Think about it. Think through it. Think through it,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to having this conversation with our friend Coffee and this idea that he brought up on Friday and Thursday of last week. And we were talking about the idea of taking your trash to a representative's home.
Okay, I missed that one.
And dumping it, and dumping it, and I just want to say, okay, let's think through this. I'm not I guess people can hear that I don't think it's a particularly well. I said it. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's performative, but if it's effective, tell us why. Tell us why it is effective. I want to hear that.
And what's
the reason?
I want to know what the end game is.
That part right there. What is the strategy? Mm-hmm. What is not the tactic? You separate the tactic from the strategy. The dumping is a tactic. What is your strategy? See, that sounds like Iran to me. But I'll let him come on and defend it for himself whenever we get him on today.
Caller, you're on.
Hey, this is me again. Just real quick,
yes,
one question. Can a federal judge in the state actually prosecute that police officer who did the police brutality if the George Floyd Act is passed? Can a federal judge, which a lot of them, Barack Obama did appoint, can have these cops prosecuted, and it doesn't have to go all the way to Washington? And that's just a question I asked. I'm going to hang up and listen.
All right. I'm not sure. I know the answer to that.
Yeah. I'm sure I don't. But perhaps one of our lawyers or one of our paralegals out there can at least give us some more insight to it. But it would be a long time after the fact to try to prosecute, I think.
When we talk about end game and we talk about, I'm gonna put this out there again. And I'm not talking about defund the police. Mm-hmm. I just think that there should be specific people to respond to specific things. If you're robbing, send the police. But if it's a domestic disturbance, maybe the police don't need to show up in full force with riot gear. Maybe you send somebody out there who's got social worker background,
like Sister Sister Jean Dimber used to say,
right?
Elder Jean Dimber used to say,
Like a
different set of skills.
X-Man brought up, shot the kid in Austin. I don't know what the situation was, but it didn't sound to me like that should have had a full armored response. But I don't know. I have to get into the situation. Okay.
Let's do one thing before you go
yes,
go to the next one here. Let's let the audience know what's coming next this morning and during our 11 o'clock hour.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230 KCOH.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
A Tip from Gilbert, Mondays 11 a.m. on 1230 KCOH, The Source. Remember when $100 filled a grocery cart? Today, it barely gets you started. If you're retired or planning to retire soon, you may be concerned about how inflation could impact your future income. Inflation doesn't retire when you do. Everyday necessities continues to rise. The question is, will your retirement income keep pace? You may have spent decades building retirement savings, but retirement isn't just about what you've accumulated. It's about what you can spend. Inflation can impact purchasing power and create challenges for retirees living on fixed incomes. At Advanced Wealth and Retirement Planning Concepts, we help individuals evaluate retirement income strategies and explore options that may help support their financial goals. Call today for your complimentary retirement income review.
Retirement doesn't come with a do-over. Whether retirement is around the corner or already here, now is a great time to review your plan. Schedule your complimentary retirement strategy session today by calling 832-402-8367. Investment advisory strategies offered through TLG Advisors Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. No tax or legal advisement is given.
Everybody's talking about the high price of eggs. Well, I don't know much about eggs, but I tell you this. If you want great chicken at a great price, how about Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside? Let's hear what his customers are saying. Michelle writes, Chicken Plus has some of the best fried chicken and best fried okra in the city. We stay about 45 minutes away, but the drive is definitely worth it. E. Max says, the chicken is seasoned so well and every bite has a special crunch. It's my go-to chicken spot when I want homemade fried chicken that's always good. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. Great fried chicken, okra, rice and gravy, desserts. You're going to find it all at Chicken Plus, 6210 North Wayside. You don't have time to make the drive? Hey, no problem. You can order Chicken Plus on DoorDash and Uber Eats. You better do what you got to do to get your hands on some of that great fried chicken, the best fried chicken in the city. Great chicken at great prices. That's Chicken Plus. See you there.
And now, a message from the Future Frequency.
Young voters, Gen Z and millennials, our world is moving fast, and the issues hitting your pockets and your peace, they're all on the ballot. Rent, safety, jobs, student debt, and yes, home ownership. Whether you're aiming for your first keys or keeping your roof steady, voting is where those issues get decided. So click off the mute button and let your voice be heard. Tap in, lock in, and make a plan to vote. The future is live right now, and you're the frequency.
This message is powered by Diversity of Thought and proudly sponsored by 1230 KCOH The Source.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Hi, I'm JJ Walls with Sunnyside Dental, and yes, it's now been over 30 years that we've been providing quality dental care for our patients in the Houston area. It's now come to my attention that many of you that want to come to Sunnyside Dental have Medicare plans that we don't accept. Hold up, that has got to change. Sunnyside Dental is now accepting most Medicare dental plans. WellCare, Liberty, United Healthcare, Cigna, Kelsey Care Advantage, Amerigroup, Aetna, and many more. We're getting on board. Call Sunnyside Dental at 713-738-1999. If you have Medicare and would like to receive the personal touch provided by Sunnyside Dental, call us at 713-738-1999. We look forward to helping you achieve the smile that you can't wait to share with the world.
Got Medicare dental benefits? Call Sunnyside Dental, 713-738-1999.
All right, we are with you. Good morning. We are with you. Good morning, everybody. We thank you for being here with us. Got Sherman on a Monday. Sherman Smith on a Monday, and so we do thank you.
Stormy Monday. Tuesday is just as bad.
The disc jockey in him. I can't keep that from going on. Can't keep him away from that.
Can't keep it.
Yeah.
713-668-1230. You guys, we're taking your calls. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning.
Hey, what's going on, my sister?
You know, life. But I'm enjoying the show. But the reason why I'm calling is because this ICE stuff, it is bothering me. And it breaks my heart that the last guy here in Houston had to die. And they say they had the wrong person. But one thing I am proud of is his boys, when they come out and speak, they sound very intelligent. They know how to speak and talk up for their dad. And the other thing that's bothering me is is the fact that, after they did him, they went into a subdivision. And just think if they come into your neighborhood and the people in the home go and shooting and the ICE is shooting, those bullets could go anywhere, over into the next house, across the street, down the street, wherever you want to say. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. You'd be an innocent bystander.
It's very serious. And the other thing that's bothering me, I understand, but I cannot believe America is letting this happen. To me, you just and don't get me wrong, I know how people that don't look like us think and what they did to the black people, so to speak. But it's just the fact that you think we live in better times and let somebody like Trump, the most ugliest man in America, God forgive me because I'm not cute, I'm not pretty, but I'm just saying, so I can call somebody ugly. But at the same time, I can't believe they let that ugly man just I mean, he's just doing anything and everything he wants to do. I cannot believe America's allowing this to happen. Although it happened,
biggest con in the history of this country.
And again, my heart goes out to that family.
Yeah,
and anybody that lose a loved one, and all this other, and how can you expect for other normal people, citizens, to behave better when you see what you see on TV now? When you allow somebody in Washington to do what this man is doing, I mean, he got money for everything, ballrooms, all sorts of crap. I just don't get it. So maybe you can talk about that. I'm going to hang up and enjoy the show.
Thank you, Annie, as always. We love you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look, I do want to make this correction to Don. I want to correct what I was saying. The book that I was talking about was The Tanning of America, Don. You were talking about the browning, and of course you are correct in the book that you mentioned. It's a seminal book. It still has force and power. However, I was talking about something that you weren't, and so my bad on that. But there is a book called The Tanning of America that covers pretty much the same thing. And I'm having trouble with the microphone again, I see. Okay, is that
Thanks,
what your
Lydia.
things are? Yeah, I see. Lydia, thank you. And I saw someone else who had a posting on that. It might have been Scurry, I think it was. But in any event, see, that's what they're doing to the microphones when I have to make an apology. Turn it down. No, somebody will believe that. Somebody will believe that. No, want to say that Don, the book you were talking about, The Browning of America, is a real thing. We do know that. We have acknowledged that. But I was speaking about the tanning of America, something that you weren't, and the tanning of America is the hip hop Latin perspective on the tanning of America, and how hip hop brought about what was changing the commercial scene of music and our culture. So go ahead.
Dan brought up Brazil too. Kind of just in passing, but like you said, a hard pivot.
Right.
Brazil had a bunch of slaves too, guys. You have to understand, Brazil was what was their import, their export? Was it sugar? They had
Brazil?
A bunch of slaves.
Well, we know coffee for sure. But
coffee.
But I'm sorry, I'm keeping up with some of this.
But
some of this
point about Brazil,
as you guys make your statements to us here.
The point about Brazil is that there are a lot of dark-skinned Africans in Brazil, and they make carnival. There's no doubt about it. If it's not for them, carnival would be nowhere near the height that it is now. But the thing is, they just got. I won't say released from slavery, but they just got emancipated probably in the early 60s, 1960s. So they still had a bunch of Brazilians under slavery, and they still have a sense of it, because if you're dark skinned, you don't get too many high
Yeah, well,
jobs, so
remember we had Steve's here with us. Steven's on with us, and we were talking about Argentino.
Yeah.
I mean Argentina. And look, I was speaking to Stevens offline. There was a book that I read back in 1969, or maybe it was in the 70s, called The Boys from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a movie based off the book. And fiction often takes place in the basis of reality, based on a true story, things that happen. And this one book was written, and in the book they talked about the number of Germans, war criminals, who relocated to South America.
Right.
And Brazil was one of those countries. So was Argentina. So there was a system of slavery that was of a kinship to the American brand. And we talk about how brutal the American was as well, but they say that these others, historians now tell us that they were brutal too.
Yeah.
They were brutal too.
In the 1860s, all those after the Civil War,
yeah,
a lot of the Confederates relocated to South America and kept that same brutality and that same I'm better than this person over here.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, guys, we're off track, but we're back. Good morning, caller. You're on. Caller, did we miss him? He dropped.
We got everything.
3, 2, 1. Morning, caller. You're on.
Yes. Happy Monday to everyone.
Morning.
Fascinating subject as usual. I heard somebody say ICE is just a precursor to martial law.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say ICE is just a precursor to civil war. So I don't know. I had 3 quick things. Fascinating calls as usual. First one, my black folks. The meetings with Mike Tallarico. I'm certain that they have some information in them that's vital and being passed on. But man, black folks need to focus on getting the 18 to 27-year-old African Americans out to vote. That should be the number one priority. Is voter turnout. I mean, if we could just get the voting lines as long as they are up there on emancipation. To get in some of those nightclubs, if we can just get some of those lines like that, the voter turnout it would be proven to be vital. Voter turnout for groups. We don't need any more colorful flyers and handouts out in our mailboxes out in South Park and Sunnyside. We don't need billboards, big billboards with the politician's picture on them smiling. That I know you got your budget so that you can push a key and some of that stuff get generated and you'll have some money left over. All that money, need all the effort, all of it, including these meetings that help to highlight whoever is putting the meeting on. We don't need politicians standing behind somebody else at a podium. We need to get out the African American vote from the ages of 18 to 27. I say 27 because you really kind of don't just start feeling like an adult when you're 27, maybe, because you realize 30 is coming.
You get back into church.
Yeah, you get back into church, and don't bring the church up. I mean, come on, churches. We need, and I'm on board using. We need, politicians, get out and get voters out to the polls from the age 27 to 18 to 27. The second thing, how many other elections are going to occur when after the election we say, man, is that all the Hispanics that voted? The Hispanic community ought to be embarrassed by now. Hispanic politicians, we don't need you to do any darn thing else at this moment except get the Hispanic vote out. You're cheating everybody. You're standing on the shoulders of people who have paid dues for you, and you're not getting out to vote. Again, I could mention some names of politicians, Hispanic politicians, but you're an embarrassment every time the election occurs, and we look up and we say over and over, is that all the Hispanic people that got out and voted? The third and final thing, to some extent, leave Mike Tallarico alone. His daunting task is trying to get rural Trump voters to vote for him. His daunting task is to try to get white people, period, to vote for him without looking like he's, chumming up to black people too much, because that racism will override all other reality. Oh, they'll pay $9 a pound for hamburger meat, versus racism, in that regard.
Yeah, you got the pit fired up. I'll be over there at 6:30. I like this $9 a pound hamburger meat, man. Come on.
And it's not far from that now. It's six. It's six going $6.30 a pound. It's going $6.30 a pound.
If you want 90-10, it's almost $9 a pound.
Yeah.
Man, they got some. See, y'all, I can see now. Y'all know where to go, perhaps. But I went to. See, but and see, I don't eat, and it tells about how skinny I am. I don't eat. I try not to eat fat meat. So here I am trying to get lean meat. So you can tell I haven't bought hamburger that much.
Yeah, it's almost $9 a pound for 90-10.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. You go out there and try to get some percentage, lean. Yeah, and you gonna spend $9. I seen some $13 a pound.
Well, what gets me is you got that, and I'm gonna pivot just a little. I saw a black, I think it's in Missouri City. A black lady has this food truck, or she's in a service station. She's advertising, and people come on there and they go, $20 for a hamburger and fries. Okay, you pay $25 at Five Guys for a hamburger, fries, and a drink.
Man, tell me about
you're mad at the black people for trying to get their money back. Off of this $9 a pound hamburger meat. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing because that costs that much at that Five Guys place. I mean, I've been tempted to go in there for the last.
Don't tempt.
Whoa! I gotta tell you, Jerry. I ain't trying to squat on Five Guys, right? Because I like them. They're good. I actually went in for a hot dog, and then I said, okay, so they didn't have what I wanted. They at this location, I guess they didn't serve the chili any longer. So I said, okay, I can't get the chili dog. I'll get a hamburger. And I wasn't very hungry because I wasn't getting what I wanted. So I said, but to eat something, I said, okay, I'll take a small combo. Just let me have a hamburger and a small soda, some fries, right? $13.50. So when and that was for the small thing, that was like for those of us who've gotten so old that we eat like kids now. They don't put us on the kiddie menu, but they got something to accommodate us. Yeah, and it was a small it was a little hamburger.
I'm ready to go to the kiddie menu.
Yeah.
I ain't proud.
Man, I tell you, I worked that military discount and that senior discount. I used to be embarrassed to let the cute little girl that was taking the money know I was a senior. You know,
Hope springs eternal.
Then they started asking you, you got your senior discount?
Jerry always looking to make his move.
Man, I got a place that gives me a senior discount and a military discount, man. So you know I'm going in there once a week.
Yeah. I found one of those too. Yeah.
But I do want to reiterate and thank you for having me. Man, it is. Come on, politicians. See, we don't have leaders, non-political, too many non-political leaders anymore. We don't have Curtis Mayfield getting us up and excited to get out and vote. We don't have Sly saying stand. In the end, you'll still be you. We don't have Sam Cooke anymore. I don't even think Stevie has put out a get off your butt and do this.
He's supposed to have a new album coming.
I heard he's got a new album coming, so I don't know. But all I do know is that the politicians are the ones that stand up in front of these meetings, you know, these gatherings, you know, got the pictures on these flyers. I don't need to see another picture of a politician, and I should add, the photography is brilliant. I don't need to see
this coming from a photographer.
I don't need to see another picture of a politician standing next to a police officer. I get it. I need politicians like coming to America in a van or something, going around the neighborhood with the megaphone. Remember,
that was Murphy. Distinguished gentleman. But yeah, you're right.
Distinguished gentleman.
Eddie,
Yeah,
Eddie
that's
Murphy.
right. That's right. That's right. Distinguished gentleman. You know, I need like the library used to have these vans, these vehicles, motorized
mobile vans,
vehicles, mobile vans out in the neighborhood,
right?
So kids could, so people could check out books. I need that in the neighborhood, soliciting people to vote. I need billboards that challenge people. You know, challenge young people. The young man, Menifee, you got voted because you got that new school look. We need that new school look to get the young black people from the age of 18 to 27 out to vote. Out to vote, y'all. That's what we need.
Out to vote.
Thank you.
You're right. Appreciate that, my brother. And I'm gonna say it again. We preaching to the choir, guys. We need to pass this on. Don't just listen to it and say, yeah, that's what I believe. Pass it on. Take it in.
That's the value of preaching to the choir. Since we know know this message resonates with you, go out and spread it to someone else. That's your job. That's your mission. That's your mission. That's how you can contribute. Go out and share what you know with people.
Spoken from Paris Eley, the prophet. Now don't take it. You know, I'm just sitting here beside it. Call it your own.
You running things, pulling strings.
Growing up wasn't easy.
Hey, dude. What's up?
Yeah, it's my shout out to Ms. Annie Wright.
Live on the Apollo.
Yes.
Me and Ms. Annie Wright had a great conversation Friday night, and I didn't know Ms. Annie could talk so much, but Ms. Annie she gave me some good knowledge. When she come on the phone, she act like she be forgetting, but she gave me some great advice Friday night. Thank you, Ms. Annie Wright. You know, and also I try not to be the first call every day. I try to give new callers a chance because, you know, I know people get tired of hearing Junior being the first caller every day. So I try to give other new callers a chance to be first. Yesterday was a great day. You know, it's a show that come on Sunday Morning Live, and a lot of your callers, we be committing adultery on you guys. But one of the callers that committed adultery on you guys yesterday, he said, when the saints go marching in, the devils go marching out. Right on, Chris. Chris was on it, brother. He had Reverend Al want to pass the collection basket. Old Chris yesterday. Hey, but Shamanda Ngozi Adichie. If you Google her up on YouTube, The Danger of a Single Story.
Man, I can't spell none of that.
The Danger, Shamanda
Okay,
Don't worry.
We get it. We get it.
Ngozi, the danger of a single story. Okay, 5 teenagers up and they coach AAU basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got arrested for stealing $37.60 worth of snacks from 7-Eleven. Basketball coach and his players.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we heard about the 2 young ladies who tragically, that's a horrible way to die.
Mm-hmm.
They was accused of shoplifting from Old Navy, and the police chase, they got out, ran across the freeway, and
got hit by cars.
Got hit by cars. Man, that's a hell of a way to die, man.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a brighter day ahead. Ralph Cooper, special thanks, Beast Mode track and field team members for sharing their dreams, hopes for the future as student athletes with Ralph Cooper and Ryan, I'm not never in a hurry, scurry. They inspired me. Coach Roderick Boyd, mentor coach Fred G., track stars Roderick Boyd Jr., Byron Stevens, Julius G., Brendan Taylor, Bryson Taylor. And special thanks to Ryan, I'm never in a hurry, Big Red Scurry. See, these are the type of stories that our people need to talk about. That's why I go back to the sister. I first mentioned her name.
Yeah.
Don't believe the single stories.
Yes.
There's more good things happening with our young black teens and black people, period.
Yes.
But the media, they only want to show the 13%, but they never focus on the 87% that's out here doing the right thing. So I want to give a special shout out to Ron Scurry and Ralph Cooper for having these amazing folks in. And I got to be a little bit messy. I be trying to wait on other people to talk about the good things that our young folks do, because I'm always accused, always bringing up the negative stuff. So I say I'm going to wait and let some other people bring this good news up about these young men that the great Ralph Cooper and Ryan, I'm never in the scurry hurry had on Friday. But I'll be the first to bring it up.
We need you for
guys
that.
for letting it ventilate.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Keep up the great work.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try this. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
She's a Nigerian-born writer, and there's a TED Talk on YouTube about her. I see.
Right.
And if you got a second, you hang here for a moment while we just set it up for people. Her story was assumed to be of a starving, naked child with flies hovering around her encrusted mouth. She tells a funny story of a new college roommate when she came to the U.S. that wanted to hear some of her, quote, tribal music, only to be disappointed when the writer, Miss Adichie, pulled out a cassette of Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey says that, Mr. Adichie says, the writer says Miss Adichie said the girl was a victim of a single story. Some of the single stories that are dominating our own country are the characterizations of Republicans and Democrats. Ask a Republican about a Democrat or vice versa, and you will likely hear a one-liner that is repeated around the country. Much of our discussion of race is based around stereotypes and a single story, as Junior has just laid out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what that's the gist of the story that Mr. Adichie
Appreciate
tells.
that, sir.
Yeah. Before I go, I'm like X. Before I go, I'm out here at Grady Park, trying to be more like Sherman, trying to stay in shape so I can help these folks out there in Sunnyside on Friday.
Yes.
And Sherman, you are a winner for being at the Shea Community Center. But I want to say this here, man, because, I like to instigate stuff, and I ain't trying to be messy. Okay, X was talking about the George Floyd bill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to play devil advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what about Ron McNair? What about Mae Jameson?
Mm-hmm.
What about Barbara Jordan? Because some people will say, well, George, what happened to George was awful what Dwight Chauvin did to him. But George Floyd wasn't no good guy.
There we go.
Can't we find a better representation to get that bill passed? In other words, what I'm saying, just like I said about the single story a lot of people saying George Floyd is not no good example to have. And I don't mean no disrespect to his family, nothing like that. But my thing is, we got a whole lot of black people out here that, you know, done contributed to our society instead of, you know, using George Floyd as a reason to pass the bill. How do y'all feel about that? Because a lot of people saying these Negroes want to get a statue of a criminal. You know, that's the word on the street that I hear all the time. So I hang up and let y'all do a little regulating.
Hey, thank you for your call, sir. And you're probably right about that, but let's look at the other criminals they got statues of around here. Oh, we don't have time for that? Yeah. All right. Caller, you're on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Caller?
Good morning, brother.
Good morning.
Hey, Chris.
My call. I won't be long, but I will be strong, and I definitely won't be wrong. Quick thing, real thing. I like what Junior just said a second ago. True enough, we got to report the good positive story on our people, especially our kids. But we also still got to point out the bad as well, like the two young ladies lost their lives, you know, running across the freeway. Mm-hmm. The reason I say that because for them to have to go somewhere and probably shoplift and steal and run, that means that's a cry need for help somewhere. You follow me?
You're right.
It's just to say that Jesus Christ once said, it should be Jesus, why are you going out looking for that one particular sheep? You got 100, you know, you got the other 99 over here. Jesus said, well, that 99 is not in trouble. This one is.
The one is in trouble.
So we can't afford to lose nobody. We still got to report the good, the bad, and the difference because for that situation to happen, that means there's a need for help somewhere in them young ladies' lives. And then I heard one caller say, well, you know, he believed in the Curtis Mayfields and the vans rolling around, et cetera, et cetera. You know, he needs politicians to follow him. But I read somewhere at Shape Community Center, to be exact, I saw a sign say when the people lead, the politicians will follow. So we just can't count on the politicians. We got to get the politician mindset where they must follow the people because the people are the real, you know, the people are they bosses. So we got to stop getting this thing about always want somebody else to do something. We can do it ourselves. Mm-hmm. And there's something I always say. The person you looking at in the mirror, you do it. Mm-hmm. We say work for somebody else's man, you do it. Mm-hmm. And see what the difference makes. One voice occurs makes the majority of them. That one person starts something, he can start a whole. He said, wow, look what this thing grew into now. As I read that say, when the people lead, the politician will follow. So it's up to the people to lead again. In the meantime, you gentlemen have an excellent show as always. Y'all give out good, positive information. And right on, Junior, right on. I'm in total agreement with Junior this morning.
All right, then.
Thank you.
We pass that on to Junior. We know it's good to be liked.
and you know, the other thing is simply this as well. Tell the story of the person to whom it happened. Mm-hmm. All right? I mean, it's like, if there were other people to choose from, this is not the same as Claudette Colvin, who was in Birmingham, and she was pregnant. She refused to give up her seat to a white man. And she did it before Rosa Parks. Mm-hmm. And the NAACP, considering the times they were in, chose not to use her as the body to put forward to fight segregation. To fight segregation. They chose to go to court with Rosa Parks because Rosa Parks had an education. She was older, whereas Miss Colvin was a 15-year-old pregnant, non-married mom. Right? Well, that was during that time back there. But in this case, it happened to who it happened to. The world saw what George Floyd went through. And yes, he was less than the ideal victim, but that's just the point about law. He was a victim nonetheless, even though he was not the ideal person you might have sympathy for. Defense lawyers know this too. They know this too. Sometimes you don't get the best clients. You get the people who've been wronged, you know, and that's not always it's not always a matter of selecting and choosing. Right. So yeah, his story still needs to be told.
It needs to be told,
Yeah.
and it's the sizzle, you know, part of this. You got the emotion behind it because we saw this.
Yes,
you know,
right. That's right.
Had we not seen all this, it's like Rodney King.
Yeah.
You know, had we not seen Rodney King getting beat like he was getting beat,
Yeah.
you know, it wouldn't have the same effect on us. You know? And we saw George Floyd breathe his last. You know,
and call for his mama.
And call for his mama.
And that was a universal thing then. That alone changed the dynamic. When you see a grown man calling for his mama, we all relate. I mean, people were protesting that over in Italy,
right?
Because of the sheer brutality of it, the indifference to human life. You know,
and somebody's already mentioned all these other riots that we've gone through and all that. You know, it's they don't have the same effect. You know, if we'd had cameras back in Tulsa, you know, it would have a much greater. It wouldn't have gone so many years untalked about at all. So okay, caller, you're on. Good morning. Good morning.
And they trying to desensitize what you see on camera. Right?
Yeah.
To the point that we feel that we can assess value on a person and a person's life, regardless if they've been convicted or not, right?
Yeah,
you're right.
And so I'm just, you know, I'm amazed at us sometimes. You know, I just, you know, and you know, we like to be Bible thumpers and say, "Judge, lest you be judged," right?
Yeah.
Cast the first stone. You're right.
And so, you know, I'm just, but it was great to hear Fred, man, and Fred dropping that knowledge. Jerry. I'm Jerry.
Yeah. But I had Fred in mind too. Fred and Herman. Fred and Herman automatic. Whenever I hear one of them, the other three come to mind.
You have to look for the other three. Yeah. But man, I'm enjoying the show, and you know, I just think, and we need to, like I said, be educated in voting, be strategic in voting, and we need to vote. And you know, and as somebody illustrated earlier, that the community is the leaders actually, and the politicians are supposed to be the followers because they're supposed to be your representatives, right?
Right.
Uh-oh, I might wake up a cup of coffee. But they're supposed to be your representatives, right?
They're supposed to be.
And in a sense, just look on the other side of the aisle, right? Donald Trump is a representative of the people who voted for him, right?
Right. That's
the Republicans are representatives of the people who voted for them. They're not their leaders.
Yeah.
They're a representation of those people. And so, in the words of John Legend, you are who you're looking for.
Yes. Yeah. Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
Get in.
Okay, buddy.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling. Don't leave us out. You know, we also have to, and I need to ask somebody, where else do you go to find talk like this? Where else do you go to find Paris Eley every morning, sitting here talking with you about things that directly affect your community? And you know, you have I think somebody mentioned the Saturday morning show on another station. And that's fine. But
Sunday.
here you Sunday morning.
So.
Sunday morning. It's in the name. Come on, Sherman. Sunday morning. But you know, this is every day. KCOH is here, and you guys spread the word. Make sure you tell everybody about it. Make sure you have your friends log in. We're on the radio, on YouTube. We're on streaming, and you know, we're out here trying to do what we're trying to do to keep the community on top and keep the community together. So thank you guys for listening. Caller, you're on.
All right. Thank you, Sherman Paris, for taking the call.
Yes, sir.
Morning. Yes. So we want to say this. You know, you never know who you're talking to unless they tell you their story.
Mm-hmm.
You never know who built this building, who keep community centers open unless they tell you their story.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that, kind of insensitive to say that George Floyd was a criminal, I don't know too many black people who wasn't so-called criminals. So we should take that position with Malcolm X, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Those
Right.
just the black people. Those just the black people. That we wouldn't have the nerve, wouldn't even come up in our soul to get on here. Oh, don't talk about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because he was an alcoholic sleeping in the gutter. And his wife had to come pull him out the gutter, and she take him to the bed, he arrest until the next day and do the same thing over again. I'm telling you, George Floyd foot slipped. You know, he got off into drugs at some point. There ain't no mystery. There ain't no. Let me tell them something that they don't know. State Community Center. Every time that door opens, I'm not talking about the Lord. Every time that door opens, is one brother that be opening that door. He arranged all the tables. If somebody have something there, that's him. His foot slipped.
He's not the only one that's around there.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. So to say that this, that, well, let's kick him out of shape. Because we want, I'm just making a parallel how that doesn't make sense. It's not logical. And then we get to people like Sam Houston. Man, you know
Okay.
how I play Sam Houston, man.
All right.
And then we got a 30 to 25 foot statue of Sam Houston. I have not heard one so-called mainstream white person that says Sam Houston statue needs to be tore down. Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was a pedophile. They got the Jefferson Memorial something in Washington after Jefferson. He was a pedophile. I have not heard one white person say that.
They ain't go back on the Me Too movement on him. Okay.
They need to take Thomas Jefferson off the money because he was a pedophile.
But they're still fighting to get all these Confederate statues back up. And most all, if not all, most of them had slaves. I'm gonna say most because maybe one or two of them didn't, but I doubt it. All of them had slaves, and they fought and killed for slavery.
Okay, then, and not just in the war.
And not just in the war.
Yeah. So to say things like that is not logical. It's just not logical. And it's voting. Someone mentioned voting, and it's excellent. We should vote. But we should be arming ourselves with the vote and arming ourselves with logic. That is not logical to come on here. Some of that man's family member listen to this show because I know him. That's horrible. And then we're going to get up there. I love Jesus. I just love him so. What? It's a contradiction. You don't know who you talking to. You may be talking to him or her every day. And it's some along the way in their life, due to this system, they put them. My uncle went to Vietnam. He came back an alcoholic and died that way. So should I not honor my uncle? I'm just seeking knowledge and logic.
Yeah. I know a few people who went to Vietnam who came back a whole lot worse than alcoholics.
Whole lot worse.
Whole lot worse.
Whole lot worse, man. So make statements like that.
And they were good people. They were nice people when they left. They didn't know.
Yeah, they didn't know.
They were kids, man. They were 19, 20-year-old kids.
Just the pressure of that war, what they have seen. Well, you can put the same thing in this society. You don't know George Floyd's economic circumstance. You don't know what he
he's seen and where he's been. And he was targeted. Come on now, he was targeted. They said he did this, he did, but they had him. They come in contact with him before, and when they saw him, they targeted him. We gonna get this Negro. We gonna get him now, whether he did it or not. We gonna get him.
But the problem with that logic, Sherman, is totally logical. Sherman, the problem with that, we don't believe what Sherman just said. This man stood 6'5", looked like the Incredible Hulk or Superman or something. And he was trying to reach logic under unlogical circumstances that he grew up in. You didn't grow up like him. He didn't see his daddy and his mama every day. He had to walk through the CUNY homes, which is tough. So I just think we need to take the time to think, take the time to listen. When parents read us that poetry or Sherman, give us words of thought, we should listen to that. And not just those two, everybody else who called. When the brother from New Orleans, his name escapes me right now, he always giving us...
Don.
Yes.
Don. Yeah.
We should listen to that. He's saying something.
Yes.
We preaching to the choir, brother.
Or I do want to be the first person. I don't care. Don't say those things about people, man, because you are hurting them. You should retract that. You're hurting them. That man's daughter is here. Well, he was nothing but a criminal. You don't even know him.
We're not disputing that. You know we're not. We believe. The people get a chance. People should have a second chance. Everybody should have it, and I believe that's why he was in Minnesota. But I'm not going to go into his personal life. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But we good.
The proof is in the pudding. Yeah,
proof
we know.
Everybody
know that.
All right.
Can you imagine the person that opens and closes gates? Good brother and his hard man. That's the sweetest brother. One of the sweetest. But his foot slipped one time in his life. Should the Lord take away the keys? Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
We'll get on here and talk about how good it is. you good. Y'all, we need people like the Lord. But the Lord trusts people. Mm-hmm. He give that brother the key. That brother drives the van also. Man,
Yeah. And and you know what? I see him. I speak to him. I see him often, because we shop at the same store from time to time. And I see him. I see him often walking around, and we chop it up. And he'll let me know how things are going. And it's just such a kind-hearted brother. Been there so many years, man. And I didn't call his name without his permission. I don't know whether.
His name
I didn't do that, but I love him. Yeah,
love him to death.
Love him to death. He exists.
Yes,
the
indeed.
The point is that he exists.
Humble too,
just like George Floyd exists.
Yeah. All right, man.
Okay.
Hey, all man. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right, let me give you this advance notice.
This is Gilbert Andrew Garcia of A Tip from Gilbert, talk, inspiration, and prayer. Listen to my show every Monday from 11 to 12 on KWWJ 1360 AM, KYOK 1140 AM, KCOH at 1230 KCOH.com, Sankeet Radio at 95.1 FM, 1460 AM, and Latino Sports, KEYH 850 AM. Call in at 832-570-8075 and follow me on social media. See you then.
A Tip from Gilbert, Mondays 11 a.m. on 1230 KCOH, The Source.
All right. We're wrapping up. Last caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Quickly, how you doing today?
Doing great, my man. How you doing?
I'm fine. And how you doing, Uncle P?
Yo, I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Well, you know what, Brother Ali, I don't have to say much. He spoke my heart this morning. But what I want to say, those lip professors out there. You seek to deceive the people. You come pour a cool glass of water, and by the time you finish, you add oil to it. Water and oil does not mix.
Doesn't mix.
And what brother was saying, there's a section in the Quran that speaks about lip profession, and he says these words. He just summed that up to me. It says,